Good evening to you. We're about to start the meeting of the Sumner County Board of Education for this August 21st voting session. And before we do, I'm going to stand for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance to our country's flag. And if you would like to join me, please feel free to do so. Join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. First thing on the agenda is roll call. Mr. Jeremy, have you got the roll call, sir?
Yes, sir. 2 members absent.
All righty. Next thing on the agenda is adoption of regular agenda. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Ms. Bachman, second by Ms. Andrews. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? None opposed. Next item on the agenda is approval of the adoption of the consent agenda. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
So moved by Ms. Hayes, second by Ms. Bachman. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. That passes. We got an adoption of a consent agenda. Next item on the agenda is consideration of minutes, discussion and interaction regarding the minutes of the July 17th regular meeting. Motion to approve by Mr. Wise. Second by Mr. Andrews. All in favor say aye. That passes. Got an extra eye there. That's good.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
on the last July 17th adoption of those minutes, I'm abstaining from that because I was not here at that meeting.
All right. Let's make sure that we put her down as, put Ms. Andrews down as abstaining from that vote. Next item on the agenda is our fun part. We really enjoy doing these kind of things. Recognition of hearing and delegations. Recognition of the 2017-18 AP Scholars. Mr. Langford, come on down.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's an exciting time for our county. You know, we have really tried over the last few years to increase the rigor of for our students, because we know that the more opportunities we give them, the better they're going to be able to achieve and excel when they get to college. And you know, I'm a former AP teacher. I taught AP U.S. History and AP English Literature, and it's exciting to see that our high schools across the county have embraced AP, and each year have added a couple more courses. And our kids are really the largest beneficiaries of that. Just to give you a few statistics, in 2014, we had 315 students that scored a 3, 4, or 5 on the AP exam. Typically, if you're in that 3 to 5 category, you have the opportunity to earn 3 hours of college credit. I just dropped my daughter off at Western Kentucky on Sunday, and when you start seeing what 3 hours of college credit costs, if you're a parent, 3 hours of college credit looks really good. So we had about 315 students in 2014 that earned a 3 or higher. 2015, that jumped to 330 students. 2016, 418. 2017, 453. And this year, we're right under 500. 494 of our students earned a 3, 4, or 5. Likewise, AP Scholars, I'm going to have Christy Wall is going to come up in just a second. She's going to explain the different distinctions that we're going to recognize tonight. But AP Scholars is a big deal to have AP Scholars. Our county has gone from 80 in 2015 to 130 this year. So we're really taking off as a county. It's great for our students because you know, when they get to college, the thing about an AP course is they're already doing college level work, and they're overcoming some of the obstacles that students see initially when they get to college. In fact, I would argue that most AP courses taught in this county are taught at way higher than a freshman in college level. So our kids are developing the study skills and the ability to persevere through hardships. I don't know if I think most of my former students that used to come to my office when they were taking AP language, it was not uncommon once or twice a week whenever they had big projects due, they would come to my conference table, we'd pull out the chocolate and the tissues, they'd shed a few tears, and then they'd go back to work. But they learned, you know, they learned how to persevere through hardship, and they learned how to write and how to think critically and how to dig deeply into content. And when you see what they do when they go on to college, it's really remarkable, and almost to a T, they'll come back and tell their AP teachers, you know, this is the best thing that I ever did. So I'm very excited. I'm excited for these students because they've taken challenges on head hard. The most rigorous courses that their school offers, they've taken the challenge on head on, and they've excelled. And that's what we want to see in Sumner County. So it's a huge, huge honor to honor your students tonight. And we're very thankful to have you with us tonight. I want to introduce two people that are going to take over the next stage as we recognize our students. Mr. Justin Alexander is going to call the names. He comes to us from Station Camp High School. He's one of our new high school coordinators. I know you haven't necessarily had a chance to meet our new high school coordinators, but Justin's doing a great job. He was formerly a teacher leader at Station Camp High School and is doing a great job in his work now countywide with our high schools. And our second new high school coordinator is Miss Christy Wall. Christy most recently was an assistant principal at Hendersonville High School. Absolutely another exceptional educator, and we're very blessed to have her. And she's going to come now and share a little bit more about the distinctions among the different levels of AP Scholar.
Thank you. So as Mr. Langford said, we're excited to honor these AP Scholars. Just to share some information about the certificates and the awarding categories that College Board has set forth. Our AP Scholar cohort represented from this past school year includes 130 students from Sumner County Schools. There are 4 distinctions that College Board has set forth for these AP recognitions. AP Scholar awarded to students who have received scores of 3 or higher on 3 or more AP exams. AP Scholar with Honors awarded to students who have received an average of at least 3.25 on all AP exams taken and scores of 3 or higher on 4 or more of these exams. AP Scholar with Distinction awarded to students who receive an average score of at least 3.25 on all AP exams taken and scores of 3 or higher on 5 or more of these exams. Finally, National AP Scholar awarded to students in the United States who receive an average score of at least 4 on all AP exams taken, scores of 4 or higher on 8 or more of these exams. So fortunately here in Sumner County, we are excited to represent students in every distinction of AP Scholar awarding. And so we will announce the names of the Scholar Award recipients who were able to be in attendance tonight. We have a large majority of students who are actually on their way, if not already in college. They'll receive their awards after our ceremony tonight. But we do want to thank our teachers for their hard work, our administrators for their support in programming for advanced academics in Sumner County High Schools.
Yes, they know what to do. We're just a few housekeeping things before we get into the list. Okay. Housekeeping is done, and now the stars of the show tonight, our students, if you will. Guys, are you ready over there? All right, I got a thumbs up from the corner. First up, we would like to recognize Mr. Nylan Alexander. Mr. Benjamin Becker.
Could we hear which school they're coming from?
Okay, we can get that. Nylan is from Station Camp High School, and Mr. Benjamin Becker from Gallatin High School. Next up, Miss Ann Brewer from Gallatin High School. Mr. Joshua Brown from Hendersonville High School. Miss Mary Brown, Merrill Hyde Magnet School. Nicholas Dennison, Gallatin High School. Abigail Gearholt, Merrill Hyde Magnet School. Aaron George, Gallatin High School. Diana Harrison, Portland High School. Graham Jones, Beach High School. Rachel Cook, Merrill Hyde Magnet School. Alexander Crenetta, Hendersonville High School. Catherine Lee, Hendersonville High School. Samuel McManus, Station Camp High School. Kaylin Meyer, Merrill Hyde Magnet School. Kevin Wynn, Hendersonville High School. Alexander Ponce, Merrill Hyde Magnet School. Hyon Rue, Station Camp High School. Henry Sprouse, Hendersonville High School. Juliana Steen, Beach High School. Shay Stender, Gallatin High School. And Charles Webster, Hendersonville High School.
All right, guys, we're going to try to get a group picture. We're going to have to make 2 lines. So if you're tall, head to the back. If you're not so tall, come to the front. We'll try to make 2 lines and see if we can get a group shot together. Yeah, almost.
you want to get in a picture. Why don't you get the principals that are here? Yeah, let's get our principals to come up. Teachers and principals, come on out. AP teachers, AP teachers. This is the official one, guys. That was very good. Here we go. There we go.
Oh my gosh, Mr. Buck. I'm one of the kids. What are you talking about?
All right, everybody, hold on. Principals. Principals, come on.
Mr. Frank, can you across?
Smart teacher.
Oh, are we showing here still? Oh my, I swear. Sort of look in the middle. It's a good one.
All right, hold on. Whoa, one more. Hold on. All right, everybody got it? All right. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you.
Have your stuff.
Okay, back to order. That's always fun. I enjoy doing that stuff. 3 hours of college credits. Man, that's fantastic. So the next item on the agenda is recognition of delegations. Would you like to introduce the next guest? All right, we'll have Ms. Bachman come down and introduce the next guest that's coming up.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to be able for the students to hear Mr. Mumi's presentation, but I'm sure if they're still in school, they will get the information. Anyway, this is Dave Mumi. I think a lot of you may have met him once before. He's addressed here before, and he's also very active in Hendersonville with the Rotary and the Chamber and a lot of civic organizations. So, excuse me, he's here tonight to tell us about the VFW essay scholarship programs and our teacher recognition contest, and it's something that we're very proud of, and we would like to have more participation from our students, because I think every parent would like to have a little bit more scholarship money and a trip involved. So, okay, without further ado, here's Mr. Mumi.
Thank you, Alice. Well, good evening, Chairman Brewer, Director Phillips, and all my other members of the school board. That's a hard act to follow. And a very proud act. That's a very encouraging things about the school system here in Sumner County. I would like to talk tonight about 4 opportunity programs that we use to recognize students and teachers here throughout Sumner County. But first, I'd like to wish Mr. Jim Hawkins a happy birthday. It also happens to be my wife's birthday today also. Tonight I'll talk primarily about what we do at the VFW Post 9851 in Hendersonville, but there are other posts in the county that cover areas like Westmoreland, Post 9806, and Post 2120 in the White House Cross Plains area. So there are other posts doing the same types of outreach to the students in the school system here. Our first program is the Patriots Pen Essay Contest, and this is for middle school students. The students are asked to write a 300 to 400 word essay and express their views on a patriotic theme. This year's theme is Why I Honor the American Flag. The students submit their essays to the local post, Hendersonville, Westmoreland, or White House, where they're judged. The overall winner at each post will then be advanced to the district, and the district winners will be advanced to the state. So there's 3 levels of awards remain within the state that they can earn some cash. The national VFW winner overall will win a $5,000 award, and I believe the state provides a $500 award when they win the state level thing. Last year we had 21 entries from 4 middle schools. The program next to talk about is the Voice of Democracy, and this is what have helped all those AP students, and hopefully it'll help AP students that are seniors this year. They're asked to prepare an audio essay and record their essay, and then the judges listen to the speech and select a winner. And at the post, we select a winner from each school. We do that also in the Patriots Pen Contest. And then it also advances through the district and the state. The state winner receives a all expense paid trip to Washington, D.C. And they have a big to-do and award all scholarships to the winners from each state. The top winner gets a $30,000 scholarship. So that's a significant amount of money. And $20,000 and on down to everybody goes home with at least another $1,000 of scholarship money. A couple years ago, I think in 2015, we had a state winner that came from Station Camp High School. So I know that Sumner County Schools can produce winners at this level. I've mailed letters to all the principals and the guidance counselors at all of the middle and high schools, including the brochure and explaining what the contest is. And the Post is willing to work with the schools to get the essays in, and we'll get them graded. Our third program is our Teacher of the Year recognition program, and this is for all 3 elementary, middle, and high school levels. And again, I've mailed letters to the principals of each school to nominate. Hopefully they will nominate a teacher. We wouldn't have good essays to judge if we didn't have good teachers, and we certainly got good teachers based on that crowd of people that was just here a few minutes ago. The entries again are judged at the post, district, and state level and then forwarded. And And national winners are awarded a $1,000 and a plaque, and the school gets $1,000 and a plaque to hang in the entryway or wherever they like, and a trip to the national VFW convention where they're recognized as the Teacher of the Year. The state of Tennessee was very pleased last year to have the national elementary teacher came from the state of Tennessee, from a little town called Collin, Tennessee, which is south of Nashville, somewhere down near Manchester, somewhere south here. I request that you discuss these programs with the principals and the guidance counselors and the individual teachers. The subjects for the Patriots Pen and the Voice of Democracy would make a reasonable essay topic somewhere during the year, and in English or perhaps a history course, and could be submitted. I know I get good response from the ROTC units at Station Camp and at Hendersonville High School. The entries deadlines for submitting all of those is 31 October of this year. So I hope you'll encourage your schools that each of you are assigned to participate in these programs. And the final event that we have is run by our VFW auxiliary, and it's the American Creative Patriotic Contest. This is a little bit on a different schedule. They have to submit their art by March of 2019, 31 March. So again, they're all judged at a level. And again, we were fortunate several years ago to have the national winner in the art contest come from Beach High School. So again, we have plenty of good talent here within the Sumner County Schools to do this, and we encourage everybody to encourage the students to do that. So if you need any information, please give me a call or contact the VFW post in Hendersonville, or if you're not in Hendersonville, contact the local VFW post in your particular area, and they can provide you information on the contest and get it to the students so that they can send us an entry. I'd love nothing better than to spend a couple of days reading all these essays so that we can choose a really great one and forward it on up and have some more state and perhaps a national winner next year. So that's all I have for tonight. I'll be happy to answer any questions that any of the members have.
Dr. Phillips.
Mr. Mooney, can you get Mr. Langford some brochures, extra brochures?
I will. I don't
About
have
each
them
program?
with me
That's
tonight.
fine.
I will do that.
That'd be good.
And if
I know we've worked.
you hide out up here these days. I know you used to be the principal at White House, and so.
If you could just get those,
All right.
and we'll make sure that we have some to talk with principals about. I know you've already mailed them, and I know
Yeah.
they're familiar with working with you
Yes,
and the
particularly
program.
the ones in the Hendersonville area.
That's right.
I've been in most of the schools
That's right.
picking up an entry or two.
digital stuff, I could email it out to all.
Okay, sure, I'll send it to you digitally.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you. And
Great.
we'll always enjoy being able to support you guys, and we'll try to do it again.
Thank you very much.
Uh-huh.
And one last thing, the Veterans Day Parade is coming up. If any of you want to enter and march or walk or ride or whatever in that, let me know. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dave. Oh, I didn't either. Dave and I have worked together for several years at the VFW. As I was the president and he was the commander, and even though we have different titles now, we still have a lot of the same responsibilities. So a lot of times you'll see us together at different patriotic events and veterans activities. So I appreciate any support that you can give us and get the information out to our students, because I think we have got some amazing students in Sumner County that could be very easily winners of these contests, and we'd like to be able to share our money here. So thank you.
Thank you again.
All right. Next item on the agenda is reports from the director, Dr. Phillips.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a couple of things. Number one, we've had a really smooth start to the school year. Probably the smoothest, not knock on wood, it may get bad tomorrow, but I've had a really smooth start. And of course, when you have a smooth start to school, that's because principals and teachers and all the front office and everybody that's out on the campus work all summer pretty much to make sure things are in place and ready for orientation and registration and for kiddos to come back. It also involves all of our people here, leadership team, doing what they need to do, and Andy, Chris, all of our maintenance and support staff. They all do an awesome job, and so when all those things happen, then you have a nice, quiet, smooth start to school. So that's happened this year, and I'm certainly proud of that. We give out every year a phone contact list. You guys remember this? We give it out. Miss Bradley was good to do it. Renee's updated this with JJ's help, so I'm gonna pass it. Take one if you want one. I'll pass it around. I'm also gonna pass around letter from Lori Lee. And this is about the benefits. They finally, we've discussed that. And so if you have any interest in the state benefit, in the benefit program that's offered by the state, you don't have to do anything, but it's a letter with contact information if you choose to do that, okay? So I'll pass those around to you. Now for the one thing that we're gonna ask the board to consider, we have an October 2nd study session. And we have an October 16 voting session. Now stay with me. What I'd like to do, if it's okay with the board, is I would like to not have the 2nd, October the 2nd, okay, which is right before fall break, not have October 2nd. Have October 16th as the regular voting meeting as it's set now. But instead of having October 2nd study session, have an October 23rd, which is the following Tuesday, have that as a board retreat, but have it on a Tuesday night at the same time that we're normally here. Does that make sense? So we'll still just have two meetings. We'll just kind of have them reversed. We'll have the voting meeting on October 16th and then a board retreat study session on the 23rd. Okay? Think about that. We haven't changed anything yet. If you have a conflict, you have an issue, probably be 2.5 hours that evening. Probably we'll do kind of like we did with the budget and eat prior to, okay? Prior to the meeting, since we're going to be here a little longer, but we'll work out all those details. If you have a conflict, just let JJ know if you would, okay? And we'll kind of wait on the board to tell us, and then I'll get with Chairman Brewer and see if we need to officially change the study session date from the 2nd to the 23rd, okay? That's it, Chairman Brewer.
Well, thank you, Dr. Phillips. That's quick. Next item on the agenda is new business, discussion interaction regarding the naming of White House High School gym. Do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve, Mr. Chair.
Motion, and seconded by Andy Daniels. And all in favor say aye. All opposed?
I need your motion to I need Mr. Wise's motion to reflect the actual name that he's wanting to name.
The actual name, we'll just call it the Coach Jeff Bennett Gymnasium at this point, and if it gets any more official than that, we'll let you know.
That's what you'll get.
Yeah, cool. You get with Scott.
Good. Now I'm ready for a vote.
Okay. Well, we already voted. It went, so it passed. We didn't get nary a note on it, so.
We just renamed it Jim.
We just named it Jim. There we go. Next item on the agenda is item number 2, discussion and interaction regarding the revision to policy JB, student attendance upon first reading. Do I hear a motion? Motion to approve by Mr. Wise. Second by Ms. Hayes. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Oops, I'm sorry. Take those ayes back just for a second. We do have some discussion. Ms. Andrews.
I just have a quick question. If we figured out, or if we were able to look into how this will affect exam exemption.
Knew there was a question. This is first reading though. So
Right.
we'll find out.
Yeah. Okay.
Exam question, JJ. How will this affect? Norman, write that down. We didn't know. We'll find out.
Okay.
Knew there was something I was supposed to.
All right. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? No opposed. Motion passes. Next item on the agenda is discussion and interaction regarding a revision to policy J-6.411, student wellness upon first reading. Do I hear a motion? So moved by Mr. Wise. Second by Ms. Bachman. Any discussion? I look good this time. All right, no discussion. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Seeing none, motion carries. Item number 4, discussion and interaction regarding final release and for retainage for the Watt Hardison Elementary School project. Do I hear a motion? Motion approved by Mr. Daniels, second by Mr. Wise. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. All opposed? Seeing none, motion carries. Item number 5, discussion and interaction regarding final release of retainage for the Walton Ferry Elementary project. Do we hear a motion? Motion approved by Mr. Daniels, second by Mr. Wise. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. All opposed? Seeing none, motion carries. Moving on to unfinished business, discussion and interaction regarding amendments of the general purpose budget. Do I hear a motion? Motion approved by Mr. Wise, second by Ms. Andrews. Any discussion?
Quick question. Quick question, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Mr. Hopkins.
These are the items that are simply already in progress that are being transferred over. They were unfinished elements. We're wanting to carry them over from the prior year's budget without carving out money from this year's budget. Is that correct?
These are all there are no impact budget amendments here, so meaning they were already appropriated in the budget and she's just putting it into the line item that it was supposed to be in once it's receipted, or it's moving between lines. So, yes, that's correct. Mhm.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Seeing none, motion carries. Next item, discussion and interaction regarding amendments to the federal budget.
Motion approved.
Motion approved
Second.
by Mr. Gregory, second by Mr. Wise. Y'all getting quick on me, I'm telling you. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Seeing none, motion carries. Next item on the agenda is discussion. Discussion of study session items.
We'll have some, obviously the policies that are up for second reading, maybe some others that we need to work on, but we'll bring them forward if there are. And then some of the other things we'll probably hold and do when we do the retreat, so we kind of all make sense together, okay?
All right, got anything else you want to put on there? Contact JJ, Dr. Phillips, me, somebody, and we'll get it on there for you. Next item on the agenda is communications from board, presentation of director's evaluation. I have it here. I'm going to send it around. Ms. Hayes, I'll give you that one.
Thank you, sir.
And then I will take one and just pass this around. I can't tell you my disappointment in this evaluation that it's only 99.7. He lacked 0.3% getting a 100, so I'm very, very disappointed. Give him something to shoot for next year. Very good evaluation. I mean, it's just doing a fantastic job. You know, when you got great leadership, it shines through, and it shines through in the products that we offer. And the products that we offer just left here with 3 extra credits for college. So it starts at the top and runs down, but he's got to have great people behind him, which he does, but he knows how to recruit them too. I'm going to give him a title tonight, and somebody's going to throw something at me, but I'm going to give him the title anyway. He's the Nick Saban of the high school superintendents. Roll, Dr. Phillips. I just had to do that. I just couldn't help myself. You like to say anything?
I just want to say thanks to the board, you know, not only for the support with the evaluation, but you know, you guys support us every day when you call or when you have an issue, and we try to help sort it out, figure it out, and get the information we need from all sides to make a good decision. I think my team, obviously, as Chairman Brewer mentioned, you know, the scores are great, and I love that, but it's more important that every time we have an issue or that we're all trying to work toward the same result and the same goal, and I think we've been really good about that the last 7 or 8 years, and I think it shows with numbers and things that translate into students having more AP credits and our ACT score higher and our graduation rate higher and all those types of things. That's great people all throughout the system, and so just couldn't be happier to be a part of this team and a part of this group, and hope we can continue to get better every year. Get better not only in the processes that we use, but the results that we're seeing making a difference for students across the county. So thank you all for your support, not only in the evaluation, but every day. It really means a lot. And we try to transfer that support to our principals and to our teachers.
Thank you, Dr. Phillips. Any comment? All right, seeing none, moving on. The next item on the agenda is comments from board members, and with your permission, I'm going to start the comments of the board members tonight, and then we'll get around to everyone else. We have a couple of people that are leaving the board with us tonight. Mr. Cordell's not here with us tonight, and I hope that someone will pass on to him that it's been an honor to serve with him. I've really enjoyed serving with him. He's just been a world of information. He's been a lot of support, and he told me last week he was not going to be here. And the reason that he said he wasn't going to be here is because he wanted everything to be about the next board member that's going to be leaving us, and that's Mr. Brown. And I am so thankful that I have got to know Mr. Brown. He's been here 12 years. I came here shortly after him, and it didn't take me long to figure out that he was more than a board member. He was a very dear friend, and someone that I've grown to love and grown to care about, him and his family. He's done a fantastic job, an awesome job. I don't know that anybody can speak for Westmoreland and up in that area any better than he can. I know our new guy that's coming, Mr. Wilkinson, I believe is his name. I know he's going to do it the best he can, but he's got some big shoes to fill. So we have something for you, Mr. Brown, and if you would, come down here. I ain't got it memorized, so I got to read it to you. This plaque says presentation by the Sumner County Board of Education to David Brown, District 11, September 2006 to August of 2006 to August 2018. Presented on Tuesday, August 21st, 2018, in recognition of your 12 years of service to the children of Sumner County Schools, and for the representing the voters of District 11 with humility and class. We wish you well in your pursuit of greatness for your community, your family, and yourself. That means you're a pretty doggone good feller, and we're proud of you.
One comment. Early in life, I think we had a little thing at Westmoreland, occasionally we play football, but they made some statements about Mr. Brown. I said, Doc, who they talking about? He told me it was me, but thanks a lot to everybody. It's great.
Let's get a picture, everybody. Move parents in the back, please. Chris, y'all come on up.
Hi, Chris.
Y'all come on up.
Okay, well, hold on, our Tina wanted to get a shot without Jeremy.
Without Jeremy in it? I'm blind with that.
One more.
Isn't that all this reception like, first like we met?
Got it?
That guy back there around, one of your sons?
I got a bunch of sons. Thanks, everybody.
You too.
He won't get this.
That's what.
You'll be.
He will never make it.
No, he, I'm not
Now, before we move on to the rest of the comments, I did have one thing else that I wanted to say I'd forgotten about. When I first met Mr. Brown, I noticed that he used a few words here and there that I didn't use anymore, and so I started bringing him bars of soap to kind of chew on, and I learned that he liked Lifebuoy better than he does Palmolive. He said that Lifebuoy had a better taste to it than the Palmolive did. I don't know how much good it did, but we brought it to him anyway. So, Mr. Brown, what would you like to say, sir?
it's considerably different than the first few meetings I attended in Sumner County School Board. Other than almost a fist fight too, and hate, I've never seen so much in my life. It's changed a lot. You know, I'm getting old and decrepit. I cry a lot. But if you don't love kids, I was in school the other day, about knee high, and they all come by. And I do cry a lot, but I'm not worried about my life. But I'm terribly concerned about these little tigers coming along. We're up to us. It's all we're gonna leave is those little tigers. And I love each and every one. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. Mr. Gregory.
I just told David that we didn't have this reception the first night we came down here. It was, and I see another person or two that was in the audience that night. And I believe the budget was out of, this was 1st September now. The budget was out of balance $7 million, I believe. And, that was, pulled in the parking lot and I had to park about 3 blocks from here. 4 TV cameras, antennas sticking up. That was fun. I really, you know, that was fun. But we balanced that thing at night. We did.
No,
I did not.
Go ahead, you through?
I did not. I didn't know Mr. Brown, really. Now, everybody's heard the Brown family. I mean, but I did not know David Brown. But beginning that night, and now for 12 years, he and I have become very good friends, very close. And he has done a really magnificent job of representing his district. He really has. And David, we'll miss you, buddy.
Thank you.
We appreciate you.
Miss you.
I really do. We're, I believe we'll be lifelong friends.
Oh, sure, thank you. I'll have,
Thank you.
If I had another 30 minutes, sir. Doc calls me the world's greatest peanut salesman. And it's very comical, but I am. If I had one thing I could say that I did in my lifetime, we shipped 75,000 cases of free product into Katrina, New Orleans. And I worked on that project all total about 30 minutes. And we got the product shipped from Indianapolis free down to Cookeville, Tennessee. In Cookeville, Tennessee, down to Katrina, New Orleans on Canal. And they broadcast that stuff out to the needy people during that flood system. And I'm the greatest peanut salesman in the world, Doc. Thanks to all. I rally a lot, but I love you all.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Brown. Ms. Wise.
If I could, I would like to make comments concerning Mr. Cordell before I move on to Mr. Brown. Mr. Cordell, if you happen to watch this video, I know you're dying to do so. I will tell you that naming the White House High School gym for Mr. Jeff Bennett failed by 1 vote. Had you been here, Mr. Cordell, it probably would have passed. But Mr. Cordell does not realize how much his experience in the school system has meant to this board. We learned a lot from Mr. Cordell due to that experience in the school system. So not only has he had a positive impact on children that have gone through that school, teachers, administrators, he's also had an impact on his fellow board members, and we will miss him. Mr. Brown, I remember those meetings as well. You got 2 more years of it than I've had so far. I would disagree with Mr. Gregory. They were not fun. I do not want to go back to those days. I don't believe there's anyone that can speak for and be concerned more with that 11th district up there than you have, Mr. Brown. It is obvious that you love the area. It's obvious that you love the employees up there. And it's extremely obvious that you love the children in your community, and I commend you for that. I've learned a lot from you. I appreciate your leadership. I appreciate the example that you've displayed, and we will miss you. Good luck to you. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wise. Mr. Daniels.
Yeah, I've been on the board for 8 years, and I've served the entire time with Mr. Brown. I missed out on some of those early meetings that you got to attend and participate in. Fortunately, it's been a lot easier, except for maybe some issues in 2012 that some of us might remember. But I think that's a lot of that is because of your service, Mr. Brown and Mr. Gregory, Mr. Wise, and even Mr. Brewer, to persevere through all those challenges. I think our board's in a really great spot now with great people, and you're absolutely going to be missed. Mr. Cordell has done a wonderful job for the last 4 years representing White House and Goodlettsville, and providing a wonderful service. His knowledge, just his service in the school before he stepped in here, and his willingness to take on be involved in the school system for another 4 years after he stepped out. But I can say about Mr. Brown, the one thing I've always appreciated about you and I respect about you is your kindness for us as board members. I appreciate your honesty, your willingness to speak your mind, but most importantly, and I think you commented on this just a moment ago, but everything you've done has been in service to the students of this county. And that's a legacy that you're going to leave behind, and it's going to be lasting, and it's going to be remembered. So thank you for that, and I'll miss you.
Thank you, Mr. Daniels. Mr. Hawkins.
Technically, this is my last meeting as the junior-most member of this board because Sarah Andrews was sworn in alphabetically just before Hawkins. But as the junior-most member of the board, I have had the privilege of learning from not only Andy Daniels, my left wingman, but from Jeff Cordell, my right wingman. And it's been a privilege to have both of their inputs informally prior to and after the meeting. And I appreciate Jeff Cordell's elbow-to-elbow friendship up here, and I want to speak on how much it meant to me when we had discussions on various issues to hear his perspective and to receive his thoughts as a former professional educator. And I want to thank him for his service and salute him and wish him well in his next life chapter. When my family and I moved back to Sumner County in 2002, one of the first people that I reconnected with, having met him in an earlier life but in a different way, was David Brown. And he and his sweet wife Rose greeted me and welcomed me back in my rounds up to Westmoreland. I was reaching out to Westmoreland because my daddy said, we don't need to live facing Nashville, where there's a whole county and a whole wealth up behind us. And so I made it a point to go up to Portland and join the Portland Chamber of Commerce, and made it a point to join the Westmoreland Chamber of Commerce. And at every Westmoreland event that I went to, David Brown and Rose Brown were there. And Rose Brown would greet me with a big smile, and David Brown would greet me with his head cocked to the side and say, what are you up here politicking for? And that kept me a note of humility right there from the get-go. I appreciated that. But what that also taught me was the importance of listening and connecting with the amazing folks who make up the Westmoreland, Portland area in our northern part of the county, in Westmoreland, Bethpage, Greater Castellan Springs. And nowhere have I gone that there's been more of a connectedness between the schools, the families, the teachers, than in our 11th district with David Brown. Over and over again, it is when I meet people, educators in the District 11, they would say, well, do you know David Brown? I would say, even now I would say, I'm getting to know him. But in all seriousness, it is evident that David Brown has put in year after year of dedicated, caring service to his district. And I don't think anyone could have done it any finer. And I'm glad that we will still have his presence in the county and his input and feedback as a citizen. And Brother Brown, I salute you and thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hawkins. Ms. Andrews.
Yes, I hate this evening that Mr. Cordell was not here, but I think it speaks to the person that he is on why he's not here. And I just commend him for that. Also commend him for being next to me, because sometimes I can have a sarcastic personality and so can he. And so I just know that the Lord put us next to each other so that we could understand each other. And so I have appreciated his input. Sometimes coming from a mom, it's different. You know, you have your mind on certain things one way and you see them from that perspective, but to hear it from a principal perspective and so forth has been great. And I think that will be greatly missed on our board to have that input. Mr. Brown, I hate that I've only got to spend 2 years with you. It's been a great 2 years. I've enjoyed serving with you. I've enjoyed your input. I enjoy your bluntness. I enjoy when there's not beating around the bush and you just say it as it is. Sometimes things need to be said as it is, and we can always look to you when those things need to be said. And so I will miss that. I will miss your heart. You can see your heart in your eyes. And I will miss looking in your direction to see your sincerity and your love for the students and for Sumner County. You will be missed, and I would hope that you're welcome here anytime. We'd love to see you back.
Thank you, Ms. Andrews. Ms. Bachman.
Oh, goodness, I don't know what else I can say other than what has already been said. And with Jeff not being here tonight, that speaks volumes of like what Sarah said, of who he is and put others before self. He's been a true educator. I've enjoyed his input here. It comes from the principal point of view. He brought vision and points of view for us to consider in our deliberations, and I appreciate everything that he's done for the board. And I'll miss him, but I think Ms. Andrews and I decided we were probably going to go visit him at the food bank in Goodlettsville and tell him, say hello. I guess we'll put it that way. Mr. Brown, you're my buddy. I love you. I've enjoyed all of the input that you and advice and experience that you have shown. I've only been here 4 years with you. I wish it could have been longer. But I will, if you will let me, I will come to Westmoreland and have lunch sometimes. But we appreciate all that you've done for Sumner County and Westmoreland. Westmoreland is a beautiful community, and you're well loved and respected just as you are here with all of us. We'll miss you. We love you. God bless you, my friend.
Thank you, Ms. Bachman. Ms. Hayes.
I don't know if there's much more that can be said, but I don't know what Mr. Cordell told you guys, but he's at the beach. No, I really don't know where he is, but yeah. But love Mr. Cordell. Gonna miss him greatly. Having been raised by a coach, teacher, principal, my dad, I just got Mr. Jeff right off. I just understand him. I appreciate his practical common sense input to discussions because he's been in the principal chair. He's been the boots on the ground person, and to hear from him when we have been in discussions over matters of decision that have to be for the schools. He's the quiet but when he speaks, you know he's got something really important to say. and we listen. We will miss him. Mr. Brown, I'm so grateful. I'm grateful that the Lord allowed me the opportunity to know you. Yes, your kind eyes and your mischievous eyes, sometimes looking over there just going, what's Mr. Brown about to say? Just love you as a person, who you are, what you represent, and your family. Thank you. Thank you for investing in the lives of children, because your heart does beat for children, and it is evident in your community. When you run for mayor, I want to help campaign for you. So you put that next on your list that you want to do. But I'm grateful, so grateful for you and the opportunity that I've had to serve with you for 4 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hayes. Just before we adjourn, I don't want to put him on the spot, but we do have a former chairman that served with Mr. Brown. Would you like to say anything, Don, before we adjourn? You'll just tell him after a while. You got a bar of soap in your pocket, right?
Thank you, Mr. Burr. Obviously, I wasn't planning on speaking, but I will share with those of you. I went to the Westmoreland football game this past Friday night, and the thing that struck me the most is along about the third quarter, Mr. Brown and I decided to take a little stroll down to the concession stand. And not only did he know everyone in Westmoreland, everyone in Westmoreland knows him. And there were children from small to senior adults coming up, shaking his hand, telling him hi, giving him a hug. None of it had to do with his last day on this board or last meeting on this board. They just love him up there. And we've talked about, heard you talk about his love of the people in Westmoreland. Well, I can tell you the people in Westmoreland love him too. So thank you, Mr. Burr.
Thank you. Mr. Greger, do you have one final comment?
Yes, I failed to mention, I was thinking about Mr. Brown so much here, I did not mention Jeff Cordell. Jeff has done a very good, stable, consistent board member. I really had a lot of confidence in the decisions that he would make. And we talked a few days ago, and I don't, not that I'm right, but I don't think we had but 1 or 2 votes that were opposite of each other. And that's pretty good coming from White House in Portland. And we all appreciate Mr. Cordell, the job that he's done, along with my fellow buddy over here, Mr. Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Gregory. All minds clear, looks like, so we are adjourned. Thank you all.